cheated out of my own marriage by her family. I made one call that changed everything forever. I wake up to the soft tone of my alarm clock, the same routine I've followed for years now. It's 6:30 in the morning in Seattle. The sky outside our bedroom window is still dark, a grayish haze settling over the city like it's too tired to get up yet. I roll out of bed quietly, careful not to wake Sabrina. She's curled up under the blankets, her dark hair spilling across the pillow. 10 years of marriage, and I still catch myself staring at her sometimes, wondering how we got here. My name's Caleb Roy, 36 years old, and a senior systems analyst at a tech firm downtown. It's a good job, steady, pays the bills, and keeps the lights on in this modest 2-bedroom house we bought 6 years ago. People say I'm dependable, the kind of guy you can count on, soft-spoken, maybe a little too reserved. But I've always liked things calm, predictable. That's me in a nutshell, I guess. I shuffle into the kitchen, flick on the coffee maker, and lean against the counter as it gurgles to life. The house is quiet, just the way I like it before the day starts pulling me in different directions. Sabrina is still asleep, and for a moment I let myself enjoy the stillness. Work's been good lately. My boss keeps hinting at a promotion, something about leading a new project. I don't talk about it much, though. Sabrina doesn't ask, and I don't push. That's how we've always been. She's the spark, the one who fills a room with her laugh, her plans, her energy. I'm the anchor, keeping things steady while she shines. It works, mostly. But there's this weight I've been carrying, one I don't talk about out loud. It's not just me and Sabrina anymore, not really. It's her family, too, her sisters, Myra and Talia. They've got this way of pulling me into their lives without ever asking if I want to be there. It started small, back when we were newlyweds, a favor here, a quick errand there. Myra needed someone to watch her oldest when she had a doctor's appointment. Talia asked if I could fix her car's flat tire one rainy afternoon. I said yes because that's what you do, right? You help family. Sabrina would smile and say, "You're so good to us, Caleb," and I'd feel like I was doing something right. But over the years, those little favors turned into expectations. Now it's like I'm on call for them, the guy who just handles things. I sip my coffee, staring at the fridge covered in photos. Sabrina and me at our wedding, Myra's kids grinning with ice, cream smeared on their faces, Talia's twins clinging to my legs at some park outing I don't even remember agreeing to. Last weekend, Myra dropped off her 3 kids, Max, Lily, and little Owen, without so much as a text beforehand. "You're a lifesaver, Caleb," she said, already halfway out the door. Sabrina just laughed it off when I brought it up later. "They're family," she said, like that explained everything. I wanted to say something, to tell her I'm tired of being the good guy, but the words stuck in my throat. I don't like fights, never have, so I nodded, kept the peace, and spent my Saturday building a Lego castle with Max while Owen cried for his mom. Work's my escape, in a way. I head out the door by 7:15, the crisp March air hitting my face as I lock up. The drive downtown is quiet, just me and the radio turned low. At the office, I'm good at what I do, solving problems, writing code, keeping systems running smoothly. My desk is neat, my project's on track. People respect me here. It's different from home, where I feel like I'm always playing catch-up with what everyone else needs. Sabrina texts me around noon, asking if I can grab groceries on my way back. Myra might come by later, she adds. I stare at the message, my thumb hovering over the screen. Might come by means she will, and she'll probably bring the kids again. I type back a quick sure and set the phone down, rubbing my temples. By the time I get home, it's dark outside, and Myra's already there. Her van's parked crooked in the driveway, and I can hear Owen wailing before I even open the door. Sabrina is in the kitchen, laughing with Myra over a glass of wine, while the kids run wild in the living room. "Hey babe," Sabrina calls out, barely looking up. "Can you keep an eye on them? We're just catching up." I set the grocery bags on the counter, my jaw tight. Lily's chasing Max with a marker, and Owen's tugging at my pant leg, snot running down his face. "Hey buddy," I say, scooping him up. Myra glances over with a smile. "You're so good with them, Caleb. Thanks for this." I nod, but inside I'm screaming. Good with them? Thanks for this? It's not a compliment, it's a leash. I spend the next hour wrangling the kids, getting them settled with a movie while Sabrina and Myra talk about some drama with Talia's husband. I'm half listening, wiping Owen's nose, when Myra says, "You're like the brother we never had, Caleb." Sabrina laughs, and I force a smile. Brother, uncle, babysitter, I don't even know what I am to them anymore. Later, when Myra's gone and the house is quiet again, Sabrina kisses my cheek and says, "You're the best, you know that?" I want to believe her. I want to feel like this life we've built is enough. But as I lie in bed that night, staring at the ceiling, I can't shake the feeling that I'm slipping away, piece by piece, into a role I never signed up for, and I don't know how to stop it. Not yet. I'm sitting in my office chair, the hum of the tech firm buzzing around me, but my mind's drifting back to how it all began. It's a quiet Tuesday in March, and I've got a stack of reports to finish, but instead, I'm staring out the window at the Seattle skyline, gray and damp like always. My name's Caleb Roy, 36, and I've been married to Sabrina for a decade now. 10 years. It sounds like a milestone, something to celebrate, and it was at first. I remember our wedding day, her in that white dress, smiling at me like I was the only guy in the world. Back then, it was just us, two people figuring out life together. But somewhere along the way, it stopped being just us. It became me, Sabrina, and her whole family, Myra, Talia, and all their baggage. I didn't see it coming, not at the start. It crept up slow, like a tide I didn't notice until I was knee-deep. It started innocent enough. Sabrina and I had been married maybe 6 months when Myra called one Saturday morning. She sounded flustered, said her ex, Brandon, had bailed on watching their oldest, Lily, and she had a job interview she couldn't miss. "Can you take her for a couple hours, Caleb?" she asked, her voice all sweet and desperate. I looked over at Sabrina, who was still in her pajamas, sipping coffee on the couch. She shrugged and said, "Why not? It's just Lily." So I said yes. Lily showed up with a little backpack and a shy smile, and I spent the day playing board games with her while Sabrina ran errands. Myra picked her up later, gushing, "You're a lifesaver, Caleb. Seriously, thank you." I felt good about it, like I'd done something noble. Sabrina kissed me that night and said, "You're so sweet to help out." I liked that, being the guy who could step up. But that one yes turned into a habit I couldn't break. A couple months later, Talia called. She and her husband, Jared, had twins, barely a year old, and they were swamped. "Can you grab some groceries for us?" she asked. Jared's working late, and I'm stuck with the babies. I didn't even think about saying no. I drove to the store, picked up milk, diapers, bread, whatever was on her list, and dropped it off at their cramped apartment across town. Talia hugged me at the door, the twins screaming in the background. "You're the best, Caleb," she said. Sabrina beamed when I told her about it later. "They're family," she said, like it was the most natural thing in the world, and I guess it was, back then. I wanted to fit in, to be part of her world. Saying yes felt like the right thing to do. Years passed, and those favors piled up like bricks. Myra's kids, Lily, Max, and Owen, started showing up at our house more often. Brandon was unreliable, always had been, and Myra leaned on me like I was some kind of stand-in dad. "Can you watch them for the afternoon?" she'd ask, already unloading their stuff before I could answer. Talia wasn't much better. Her twins, Sophie and Ben, were a handful, and with Jared pulling weekend shifts, she'd call me for help fixing a leaky faucet, picking up the kids from daycare, even driving them to soccer practice once when her car broke down. I'd grumble to myself sometimes, but I never said no. Sabrina would just laugh it off. "You're so patient," she'd say, like it was a badge of honor. Patient, reliable, that's what they all called me. But deep down, I started wondering, when did I sign up for this? I lean back in my chair now, rubbing my eyes. The office is quiet, just the sound of keyboards clicking around me. I think about those early days, how I let myself get pulled into their orbit. It wasn't like they forced me. I could have said no, could have drawn a line, but I didn't. I wanted Sabrina to be happy, and her sisters were part of the package. Every time I helped, they'd praise me, tell me how great I was. "You're like a second parent to them," Myra said once, after I spent a whole Sunday building a fort with her kids in our backyard. Sabrina nodded along, smiling. "He really is," she said. I didn't argue. Didn't tell them I never wanted that role. I just kept going, saying yes because it was easier than fighting. Looking back, I can see the shift. It wasn't just favors anymore. It was expectations. If Myra had a work emergency, I was the first call. If Talia needed a break, she dropped the twins off without asking. Our house turned into a revolving door of kids and chaos, and I was the one holding it together. Sabrina didn't seem to mind. She'd chat with her sisters, sipping tea or wine, while I chased toddlers and cleaned up spills. "They need us," she'd say if I ever hinted at being tired. "Don't make a fuss, Caleb. It's what family does." I'd bite my tongue, nod, and keep going. But in the quiet moments, like now, alone at my desk, I'd feel this ache. I wanted boundaries, some space that was just mine. I wanted to say no without feeling like I was letting everyone down. The clock hits 5 in the evening and I pack up my laptop. On the drive home, I think about how it's been years of this. Years of yes. I don't even know how to stop anymore. Sabrina's probably waiting for me, maybe with a list of things to do. Myra might show up again, kids in tow. Talia might call. And I'll say yes because that's who I am to them, the helpful one, the guy who doesn't complain. But as I pull into our driveway, the house glowing warm against the rainy night, I feel that weight again. It's heavier now, pressing on my chest. I don't know how much longer I can carry it. Not forever, that's for sure. I'm sitting at my desk, the glow of my computer screen casting shadows across the room. It's late afternoon, and the office is winding down, people packing up, chatting about their plans. I've just finished a big project, a system upgrade that took weeks of late nights and early mornings. My boss clapped me on the shoulder earlier, said I'm in line for something bigger soon. It feels good, knowing I'm solid here, that I've carved out a space where I'm in control. My name's Caleb Roy, 36, and at work, I'm the guy who gets it done. But as I shut down my laptop and grab my keys, I know what's waiting for me at home. It's not the quiet evening I crave, it's the second shift. The one nobody asked if I wanted. The drive back to our house in Seattle is quick, the streets slick with rain. I pull into the driveway and see Talia's car already there, parked haphazardly like she was in a rush. I sigh, bracing myself. Sure enough, when I walk through the door, the twins, Sophie and Ben, are tearing through the living room, chasing each other with toy trucks. Sabrina's in the kitchen, stirring something on the stove, and Talia's leaning against the counter, scrolling her phone. "Hey babe," Sabrina says, glancing up with a smile. Talia had to drop by. "Jared's working late again. Can you watch the twins for a bit?" I set my bag down, my shoulders already tight. "Sure," I mutter, because what else am I supposed to say? The twins spot me and barrel over, crashing into my legs. "Uncle Caleb," Sophie yells, holding up a truck with a broken wheel. "Fix it!" Ben's tugging at my hand, babbling about a race they want to have. I force a smile, kneel down, and start tinkering with the toy while they bounce around me. Talia barely looks up from her phone. "You're a saint, Caleb," she says, like it's a fact. Sabrina laughs from the kitchen. "He really is." I don't feel like a saint. I feel like a guy who's too tired to argue. An hour later, Talia's gone, leaving the twins with us for the night because it's easier this way. I spend my evening wrangling them into pajamas, reading them stories, and cleaning up the mess they leave behind. Sabrina's asleep. By the time I collapse on the couch, the house finally quiet. This is my life now. Work all day, then come home to play dad to someone else's kids. It's been like this for years, ever since Myra and Talia figured out I wouldn't say no. Myra's got 3, Lily, Max, and Owen, and they're over all the time. Brandon, her ex, is a deadbeat, always has been, so she leans on me. Last weekend, she dropped them off unannounced, saying she had a thing to handle. I spent my Saturday building pillow forts and making mac and cheese while Sabrina caught up with her over coffee. "You're so good with them," Myra said when she picked them up, like I'd won a prize. I wanted to tell her I didn't sign up to be their babysitter, but I didn't. I never do. It's easier to keep the peace. Sabrina doesn't see it, or maybe she doesn't want to. She's always been close with her sisters. 3 of them against the world, she says. I used to think it was sweet, how tight they were, but now it feels like I'm the one paying for it. She doesn't thank me much anymore, doesn't seem to notice how drained I am. Our nights used to be ours, dinner, a movie, maybe more. Now they're filled with kids or her sister's drama. I can't remember the last time we just sat together, alone. I miss her, miss us, but every time I try to bring it up, she shuts it down. "They're family, Caleb," she'll say, her voice sharp. "Don't be selfish." So I swallow it, let it sit heavy in my chest. The next day at work, I'm eating lunch in the break room when Donovan sits down across from me. He's a coworker, a good guy, divorced last year, raising his daughter solo. He's got this easy way about him, like nothing rattles him anymore. "You look beat, man," he says, cracking open a soda. I shrug, picking at my sandwich. Long night. Talia's twins stayed over. He raises an eyebrow. "Again? What are you, their live-in nanny?" I laugh, but it's hollow. He leans back, studying me. "Seriously, Caleb, you're always taking care of everyone else. When's the last time you did something for you?" I don't have an answer. He shakes his head. "Man, are you a husband or a backup plan? You gotta figure that out." His words stick with me all day. Backup plan. Is that what I am? I think about it on the drive home, the rain smearing across my windshield. I've climbed the ladder at work, earned respect, built something I'm proud of. But at home, I'm just the guy who says yes, the one who picks up the slack. Myra's kids, Talia's twins. They're not mine, but I'm raising them half the time. Sabrina doesn't see the toll it takes. She's in her own world, tied up with her sisters, expecting me to keep everything running. I pull into the driveway, and there's Myra's van this time. I can already hear Owen crying inside. I sit there for a minute, hands on the steering wheel, staring at the house. Donovan's right. There's a crack forming, something I can't ignore much longer. I'm not sure what I am anymore, but I know I'm tired of this role. Really tired. I wake up to the sound of rain tapping against the bedroom window, a steady rhythm that matches the dull ache in my head. It's my 35th birthday today, and I'm lying here staring at the ceiling, wondering why it doesn't feel special. My name's Caleb Roy, and I've been married to Sabrina for a decade now. I'm 36 as of this morning, I guess. Another year gone, another quiet milestone. I roll over, expecting to see her next to me, maybe with a smile or a happy birthday babe, but the bed's empty, the sheet's cold. I sit up, rubbing my eyes, and hear her voice drifting in from the kitchen. She's on the phone, laughing, probably with Myra or Talia. I don't get up right away. I just sit there, letting the day sink in. I'd hoped for something today, nothing big, just a moment that was ours. Work's been brutal lately, and I've been juggling her sister's kids on top of it. A quiet dinner, maybe a movie, just me and Sabrina, that's all I wanted. I didn't say it out loud though she's been distracted, planning some girl's thing with Myra and Talia, and I didn't want to push. I shuffle into the bathroom, splash water on my face, and stare at myself in the mirror. 36. I don't look old, not really. Still got my hair, a few lines around my eyes, but I feel it, tired, worn, like I've been carrying more than I should. In the kitchen, Sabrina's pouring coffee, her phone tucked against her shoulder. "Yeah, Myra, I'll be ready by noon," she says, then spots me. "Oh, morning, babe, happy birthday." She flashes a quick smile but turns back to her call. "No, Talia, you bring the sunscreen." I stand there, waiting for her to hang up, but she doesn't. I grab a mug, pour myself some coffee, and lean against the counter. "Big plans today?" I ask, keeping my voice light. She nods, still half listening to her sisters. "Yeah, we're doing a spa day. Been ages since we had a girls' trip." "You're good here, right?" I blink. "Good here?" It's my birthday, but she's not looking at me, her fingers flying over the screen, texting. "Sure," I say, because what else is there? She pecks my cheek on her way out. "Thanks, Caleb. You're the best." The house feels too big once she's gone. I sit on the couch flipping through channels, but nothing holds my attention. The rain's picking up outside, drumming harder against the roof. I think about calling someone, Donovan maybe, but he's got his daughter this weekend. I don't want to bother him. My phone buzzes around 2 in the afternoon and I grab it, hoping it's Sabrina. It's a group text from her, Myra, and Talia. A blurry photo of them at the spa, all smiles, with a cake emoji and happy belated. I stare at it, my chest tightening. Belated? It's still my birthday. I don't reply. What's the point? I wander into the kitchen, grab a bottle of whiskey from the cabinet, and pour myself a glass. It's not even dark out yet, but I don't care. I sit at the table, sipping slow, letting the burn settle in my throat. This isn't how I pictured 36. I'd always thought birthdays were supposed to mean something. Cake, laughs, people who care. Last year, Myra's kids were here, and we made a mess with cupcakes. Sabrina had hugged me then, said, "You're the best uncle." But today there's nothing. No kids, no wife, no noise, just me, this bottle, and a house that feels like it's mocking me. I think about the years I've let slip by. I wanted things. Still do. Travel, maybe to Europe or Japan, places I've only seen in pictures. Writing, too. I used to scribble stories in notebooks, back before life got so full of everyone else's needs. And kids of our own. Sabrina and I talked about it early on, how we'd raise them together, how I'd teach them to build things like my dad taught me. But those dreams got buried under diapers, errands, and her sister's endless needs. I take another sip, the whiskey warming my gut. I've been on hold, waiting for a life that never starts while Sabrina's out there living hers. The clock ticks past 6 in the evening. No calls, no texts, just that one stupid message with the cake emoji. I get up, pace the living room, then sit back down. I could have said something this morning, told her I wanted her here, but I didn't. I never do. I'm the guy who handles it, who doesn't make a fuss. That's what she loves about me, right? My patience, my reliability. I pour another glass, my hands steady even though my head's spinning. I think about Donovan's words from a while back. "Are you a husband or a backup plan?" I laughed it off then, but now it's clawing at me. Backup plan. That's what this day feels like. By 9 in the evening, the bottle's half gone, and I'm sprawled on the couch, the TV flickering with some show I'm not watching. The rain's a roar now, drowning out the silence. I check my phone again. Nothing. I imagine them at the spa, laughing, sipping wine, not even thinking about me. I'm not mad. Not exactly. It's deeper than that, like a crack splitting open inside me. I've given them everything, my time, my energy, my days off, and this is what I get, a blurry photo and an empty house. I finish the glass, set it down hard on the table, something shifting, something I can't name yet. I'm done waiting for them to see me. Maybe it's time I see myself. I'm driving up the winding road to Lake Chelan, the tires humming against the pavement as the city fades behind me. It's a warm Saturday in late March, and the sun's breaking through the clouds, glinting off the water in the distance. My name's Caleb Roy, 36. And I'm supposed to be heading to a family getaway. Something Sabrina's been planning for weeks. She's been buzzing about it, saying we all need a break, A chance to unwind. Me, her, Myra, Talia, their husbands, the kids, the whole crew. I wasn't thrilled about it, not after my birthday disappearing act, but she insisted. "It'll be fun, Caleb," she said, her eyes bright. "We'll rent a big cabin, swim, barbecue, you'll see." So I packed my bag, loaded the car with snacks and a cooler, and here I am, pulling up to the address she gave me. The cabin's nice wooden, tucked among the trees with a wide porch overlooking the lake. I park, grab my stuff, and head inside, expecting noise. Kids running, adults laughing, the usual chaos. But it's quiet, too quiet. I drop my bag by the door and call out, "Sabrina, anyone here?" No answer. The living room's empty, just a couch and a coffee table with a stack of board games. I check the kitchen, nothing. My stomach twists a little. Maybe they're out back, I think, stepping onto the deck. That's when I hear it, giggling, small feet pounding up the stairs from the basement. Myra's kids, Lily, Max, and Owen, burst out, followed by Talia's twins, Sophie and Ben. "Uncle Caleb!" Lily yells, throwing her arms around my legs. The others swarm me, all talking at once. I kneel down, trying to make sense of it. "Hey guys, where's your mom? Where's Sabrina?" Lily shrugs, tugging at my hand. "They're not here. Can we play hide and seek?" I frowned, standing up. "Not here?" That doesn't add up. I pull out my phone. No signal out here, but my email's still loaded from earlier. There's a new message from Sabrina, sent an hour ago. I open it, and the words hit me like a punch. "We're going to Hawaii. Take care of the kids. At least be useful for once." I read it again, then a third time, my hand shaking. Hawaii. They're gone. Sabrina, Myra, Talia, off on some trip, and I'm here with 5 kids, alone. Useful for once. The betrayal sinks in, sharp and cold. I look at the kids, their faces bright, oblivious. Owen's tugging at my shirt, asking for juice. Sophie's already running back inside, shouting about snacks. I take a deep breath, force a smile. "Okay, let's get you guys settled," I say, my voice steady even though my head's spinning. I herd them into the kitchen. Find some crackers and juice boxes in the cooler I brought. They sit at the table, chattering, while I lean against the counter, staring at that email. 10 years with Sabrina, and this is what she thinks of me. Some errand boy, a babysitter she can dump and ditch. I think about my birthday, the spa day, all the times I've said yes. This isn't just a prank, it's a slap in the face. I could call her, scream, demand answers, but there's no signal, and honestly, what's the point? She's in the air by now, sipping a drink, laughing with her sisters. I'm here, surrounded by kids who aren't mine in a cabin I didn't choose. I pour Owen another juice, wipe Max's sticky hands, and try to think. They didn't even pack much for the kids, just a couple bags with clothes and toys, dumped by the door. No note, no plan, just that email. I sit down with them, playing along as Lily tells me about a fish she saw in the lake earlier. "Can we catch it, Uncle Caleb?" she asks. I nod, distracted. "Maybe tomorrow, kiddo." The day drags on. I take them outside, let them run around the yard while I sit on the porch, watching the lake's calm, reflecting the trees. But inside, I'm a mess. I've been used before, errands, childcare, all of it. But this is different. It's deliberate, cruel. Sabrina's words echo in my head, "At least be useful." I've spent years being useful, bending over backward for her family, and this is my reward. The kids are fine, happy even, but they're not my responsibility, not like this. I think about driving them back to Seattle, dropping them at Myra's or Talia's place, but I don't even know where their dads are. Brandon's useless, and Jared's probably working. I'm stuck. By evening, they're winding down. I make sandwiches from what I brought, set up a movie on my laptop, some cartoon they all agree on. They pile onto the couch giggling, while I sit in a chair, staring at the screen but not seeing it. My mind's racing. This isn't just about today, it's everything. The years of yes, the weight I've carried, the life I've let slip away. I've been a doormat, and they've walked all over me. But this time, it's too much. I can feel something breaking, something final. As the kids drift off, sprawled across the cushions, I make a decision. I'm done, not just with this trip, but with all of it. They've pushed me too far, and I'm not going back. I'm sitting on the edge of the couch in this lake-chilling cabin, the kids sprawled out around me, fast asleep, the cartoon still playing on my laptop, a loop of bright colors and silly voices. But I'm not watching it. My name's Caleb Roy, 36, and I've just been hit with the kind of betrayal that doesn't fade with a good night's sleep. Sabrina's email is burned into my head. "We're going to Hawaii. Take care of the kids. At least be useful for once." It's past midnight now, the lake outside dark and still, and I'm staring at my phone, the words replaying over and over. 5 kids, Myra's 3, Talia's twins, left with me like I'm some hired nanny. No warning, no discussion. Just a middle finger in the form of a plane ticket they didn't buy me. I stand up, careful not to wake them, and step onto the porch. The air's cool, the night quiet except for the soft lapping of water against the shore. My hands are steady, but inside I'm raging. Not the loud kind, not yelling or smashing things, but a cold, clear anger that's been building for years. I think about all of it, the errands, the babysitting, the way Sabrina and her sisters have leaned on me like I'm a piece of furniture. I've let it happen, said yes too many times. But this, leaving me with their kids while they jet off to Hawaii, it's not just selfish, it's a line crossed I can't uncross. I take a deep breath, the decision settling in my chest like a stone. I'm not playing their game anymore. I go back inside, grab my phone and find a weak signal near the window. It's enough. I sit at the kitchen table, the kids' soft snores filling the room, and dial Child Protective Services. The line rings twice before a tired-sounding woman picks up. CPS, how can I assist you? She asks. I keep my voice low, calm, like I'm explaining a bug in a system at work. My name's Caleb Roy. I'm at a cabin in Lake Chelan with 5 kids, ages 3 to 9. They're my wife's nieces and nephews. She and her sisters left them with me and flew to Hawaii without my consent. I'm not their guardian. I need help. There's a pause. Then she starts asking questions, names, ages, the email. I give her everything, reading Sabrina's message out loud. Stay where you are, she says. We'll send someone. Next I call the police. Same story, same calm tone. The dispatcher's surprised but professional. We'll coordinate with CPS, he says. An officer will be there soon. I hang up, lean back in the chair, and wait. The kids are still out cold. Lily curled up with a pillow, Owen clutching a stuffed bear, the twins tangled in a blanket. They're innocent in this, just pawns in their mom's mess. I get up, grab some water, and sit with them, keeping them calm in case they wake up. Max stirs once, blinking at me. Uncle Caleb? He mumbles. Go back to sleep, buddy, I say, brushing his hair back. He does, and I feel a pang. None of this is their fault. While I wait, I play with their toys in my own way, quietly stacking them, making sure they're comfortable. I pull out my phone, snap a few photos of the scene, the kids, the bags they came with, the empty cabin. Evidence, I guess. I don't know what's coming, but I want it documented. An hour later, headlights flash through the window. A CPS worker, a woman named Janet, and a cop show up at the door. Janet's got a clipboard, the officer's got a notepad. I let them in, explain it all again. Here's the email, I say, showing them my phone. Janet reads it, her face tightening. This is abandonment, she says almost to herself. The cop nods. We'll need statements from the parents when they're back. I hand over the kids' bags, give my statement, name, relation, what happened. Janet's gentle with the kids, waking them slowly, telling them they're going on a little trip. They're groggy, confused, but they trust her. I help pack their stuff, my hands moving on autopilot. Owen clings to my leg and I kneel down, give him a quick hug. You'll be okay, I tell him. It's all I can say. Once they're loaded into Janet's van, the cop shakes my hand. You did the right thing, he says. I nod, but I don't feel heroic, just empty. Back inside, I grab my bag and sit at the table, pulling up the group chat with Sabrina, Myra, and Talia. My fingers hover over the keys, then I type. The kids were left unsupervised. Authorities have been contacted. Do not reach out to me again. I hit send, turn off my phone, and stare at the screen. It's done. They'll see it when they land, probably blow up my phone with excuses, tears, anger. I don't care. I'm not engaging, not this time. I pack my cooler, lock the cabin, and head to my car. The drive back to Seattle is dark, the road empty. I feel the weight lifting, just a little, not relief, not yet, but a shift. I've spent years being their fix-it guy, their safety net. Now they'll have to face this without me, and I'm walking away. I'm sitting in my car outside our house in Seattle, the engine off, the rain tapping against the windshield. It's been 3 days since I left the cabin at Lake Chelan, 3 days since I called CPS and the police on Sabrina, Myra, and Talia. My name's Caleb Roy, 36, and I've just turned my life upside down, or maybe right side up. I'm not sure yet. My phone's been off since I sent that text. The kids were left unsupervised. Authorities have been contacted. Do not reach out to me again. I haven't checked it, haven't wanted to. I know what's waiting, messages, calls, chaos. I drove straight home from the lake, slept in the guest room, and went to work like nothing happened. But today, I can't avoid it anymore. They're back from Hawaii. I can feel it. I unlock the front door, step inside, and the house feels different, stale, like it's holding its breath. Sabrina's shoes aren't by the door, her jacket's not on the hook. She hasn't been here. I drop my keys on the counter, flick on the kitchen light, and sit at the table. The silence is loud, heavier than usual. I pull out my phone, power it on, and wait. It buzzes to life, notifications piling up, missed calls, voicemails, texts, dozens of them, all from Sabrina, a few from Myra, one from Talia. I scroll through the texts first. Sabrina's start frantic. Caleb, what the hell did you do? Then angry, you humiliated us. CPS took the kids. Then pleading, they're your nieces and nephews, how could you? I listened to one voicemail, her voice shaking, furious. You've ruined everything, Caleb. Call me back now. I don't. I lean back, staring at the ceiling. They landed yesterday, I figure, straight into a mess they didn't expect. The police met them at the airport. I heard that much from a follow-up call with the CPS worker Janet. She'd been professional, said the kids were safe, placed with temporary fosters while they investigated. Neglect charges were filed, she told me, against all three: Sabrina, Myra, Talia. I didn't ask for details, didn't need them. I'd given my statement, handed over the email, the photos. The rest was out of my hands. But I can imagine it, Sabrina's face when she saw the cops, Myra's panic, Talia's tears. They thought I'd just take it, like always. They were wrong. The fallout's hitting fast. Janet mentioned CPS open cases on all three families. Myra's custody of Lily, Max, and Owen is restricted now, pending parenting classes. Talia's twins are under review too, since Jared wasn't even in the loop. Sabrina's got no kids of her own, but she's tangled in it. Abandonment, negligence, whatever the legal terms are. I don't know the full scope, don't want to. I just know her perfect image is cracking. She's always been the golden sister, the one who holds it together. HR manager, PTA mom to her nieces and nephews, the glue for Myra and Talia. Now that's gone. I heard from Donovan at work, his ex knows someone at Sabrina's company. Word's spreading, her boss isn't happy. I get up, grab a beer from the fridge, and sit on the couch. The house feels like a museum, photos on the walls, memories of a life I don't fit into anymore. Sabrina's tried calling again. My phone buzzes on the table, her name flashing. I let it ring. She'll probably show up soon, banging on the door, demanding I fix this. But I'm not fixing anything, not this time. The doorbell rings an hour later. I don't move. It rings again, then there's pounding. Caleb, open the door. It's Sabrina. I stay put, staring at the TV I haven't turned on. She yells for a while. Accusations, sobs, the works. You're throwing us under the bus after everything we've been through. I hear her voice crack, but I don't budge. Eventually, she stops and I hear her car peel out. I finish the beer, toss the bottle, and lie back. She's wrong. It's not me throwing them under anything. They did this. They left their kids, left me, thinking I'd just roll over. I didn't. The next day at work, I keep my head down. Donovan corners me at lunch, eyes wide. Heard about the Hawaii stunt. You okay, man? I nod, picking at my food. Yeah, it's over. He grins, slaps my shoulder. Good for you. About time you stood up. I don't feel victorious, just tired. But he's right. The aftershocks are still coming. Legal battles, family fallout, Sabrina's career wobbling. None of it's my problem anymore. I go home that night, lock the door, and sleep in the guest room again. My phone stays off. They can scream, cry, beg all they want. I'm not their anchor now. I'm free, or at least I'm starting to be. I'm standing in my new apartment downtown, the key still cold in my hand, looking out at the Seattle skyline through a wall of windows. It's been 4 months since the Lake Chelan mess. 4 months since I walked away from Sabrina and her sister's chaos. My name's Caleb Roy, 36, and I'm starting over. The house is gone, sold in the divorce, split clean down the middle. Sabrina fought it at first, but her lawyer told her she didn't have a leg to stand on, not after the neglect charges and the CPS reports. I didn't want it anyway. I just wanted out. Now I'm here, a one-bedroom place, high up, with bare walls and a view that feels like a fresh breath. It's mine, and that's enough. Work's been my lifeline. I transferred departments a month ago. Same tech firm, new team. It's a step up, leading a small crew on system overhauls. My old boss wasn't thrilled, but he got it. You need a change, he said, and he was right. The new gig keeps me busy, focused, less time to think about the past. Donovan's still around, stopping by my desk with coffee and divorce wisdom. You're looking lighter, man, he said last week. I shrugged, but he's not wrong. The weight's lifting, slow but sure. I'm not the guy who says yes to everything anymore. I'm figuring out who I am without that. Outside work, I've been trying new things. A coworker mentioned writing groups, said they meet up downtown. I'd always liked writing, used to fill notebooks with stories before life got too loud. So I went, nervous as hell, clutching a beat-up journal. That's where I met Juno. She's the one running it, tall, wild hair, a laugh that cuts through the room. She's a novelist, self-published, with a way of talking that pulls you in. First night she read something she wrote, sharp, raw, about breaking free. It hit me hard. Afterward she came over, asked what I was working on. Nothing yet, I said, sheepish. She grinned. Start. You've got something to say, I can tell. I did, scribbled a page about being the reliable one, how it ate me alive. She read it, nodded. Keep going, this is real. That was 2 months ago. Now I'm at the group every week, filling pages with stuff I didn't know I had in me. Emotional labor, family traps, the slow grind of giving too much. Juno pushes me, not gentle but not mean either. Stop living for them, she said once, tapping my notebook. Write for you. I took it online, posted an essay on a blog I started, just to see. It blew up. Hundreds of shares, comments from people who got it. I've been there, they wrote. You're not alone. I stared at my screen, stunned. I'd spent years feeling invisible, and now strangers saw me. A podcast host reached out, some guy named Leo, big on personal growth stuff. Your story's powerful, he said. Come talk about it. I did. Last week, my first interview, voice shaking but steady by the end. It aired yesterday. Donovan texted me, heard you, man, damn proud. I'm sitting on my couch now, a cheap one I bought secondhand, sipping coffee instead of whiskey. The apartment's still sparse, just a bed, a table, this couch, but it's mine. No kids' toys, no sisters dropping by unannounced. My phone buzzes, Sabrina again. She still texts sometimes, less angry now, more desperate. I don't answer. The divorce isn't final yet, but it's close. She's got her own mess, CPS classes, a demotion at work. Myra and Talia leaning on her harder than ever. I don't know the details, don't care to. I'm out of their orbit. I think about that email, at least be useful, and how it broke something in me. But it built something too. I'm not useful now, I'm me. Juno's been a surprise. She's not like Sabrina, doesn't need me to fix anything, doesn't lean. She's just there, challenging me, laughing at my bad jokes. Last week, she dragged me to a poetry reading, me in a room full of artsy types, feeling out of place. She nudged me after. You fit more than you think. I'm not sure about that, but I like how she sees me, not a crutch, just a guy. We've been hanging out more, coffee, walks by the water. It's light, easy, nothing heavy yet. I'm not rushing, I've got time. I grab my laptop, open the blog. Another essay's half done, about saying no, how it's not selfish, how it's survival. I type, the words flowing faster now. Juno's right, I've got something to say. The podcast got me thinking too. Maybe a book someday. I'm not the Caleb who hauled groceries for Talia or built forts for Myra's kids. I'm the guy who stood up, walked away, started over. My phone buzzes again, not Sabrina this time, but a comment on the blog. Thank you. This changed how I see my life. I smile, small but real. I'm not just needed anymore, I'm seen. And that's a code I can live by. I'm sitting at my desk in the new department, the hum of the office around me like a steady pulse. It's been a year since the Lake Sheelan disaster, a year since I turned my back on Sabrina and her sister's mess. My name's Caleb Roy, 36, and I've built something solid here. New apartment, new job, new life. The divorce finalized 2 months ago, clean and quiet. Sabrina got half the house money, I got my freedom. I don't hear much from her anymore, just the occasional text, ignored, deleted. Work's good, leading my team, solving problems, feeling like I matter. Outside, the Seattle rain streaks the windows, but inside, I'm calm. That's when the intercom buzzes. Caleb, someone's here for you, the receptionist says. My stomach drops. I know who it is before I even stand up. I walk to the lobby, and there she is, Sabrina, standing by the front desk, looking smaller than I remember. Her hair's pulled back tight, her eyes shadowed, like sleep's been dodging her. She's in a coat too thin for the weather, hands twisting together. I stop a few feet away, arms crossed. What are you doing here? I ask, voice flat. She looks up, startled, like she didn't expect me to sound so cold. Caleb, she starts, stepping closer. I needed to see you. I don't move. A year ago I'd have softened, asked what was wrong. Now I just wait. She takes a breath, and it spills out. We need help. Things are falling apart. I let her talk. She's tired, she says, worn down by the last year. The neglect charge is stuck. Myra lost partial custody. Talia's still in classes. Sabrina's caught in the middle. Legal bills piled up, draining their savings. Myra's ex, Brandon, is suing for full custody now, and Talia's fighting Jared over money. Sabrina's job took a hit, demoted after the scandal, no more promotions in sight. We're drowning, she says, voice cracking. The family's a mess. Myra's a wreck. Talia's barely holding on. We trusted you, Caleb. You're still our family. She looks at me, eyes pleading, like I'm the lifeline she's been waiting for. Please, we need you. I stand there, letting her words hang between us. A year ago, this would have pulled me in. Guilt, duty, that old habit of fixing things. I'd have said yes, jumped back into their chaos because that's who I was. But now I feel nothing. Not anger, not pity, just a quiet clarity. I think about the cabin, the kids, that email, at least be useful. I think about the nights I spent alone, the days I gave up, the life I lost trying to hold them together. She's asking me to dive back into that, to save them again. I look at her, really look, tired, desperate, but still expecting me to bend. She hasn't changed, they haven't changed. No, I say, simple, firm. Her eyes widen, like she didn't hear me right. What? She whispers. I uncross my arms, step back. I'm not your family anymore, Sabrina. I spent 10 years being useful, running your errands, raising your sister's kids, keeping your world from falling apart. You didn't trust me, you used me, and when I stopped, you threw me away. She shakes her head, tears welling up. That's not true. We needed you. I needed you. I cut her off, voice steady. Trust isn't control. Family isn't an obligation. You don't get to dump your mess on me and call it love. I'm done. She stares, mouth open like I've slapped her. Caleb, please, she says, reaching out. I step back again, out of reach. You've got Myra, Talia, your parents. Figure it out. I did my time. Her hand drops and she starts crying. Quiet, shaky sobs. You've changed, she says, almost accusing. I nod. Yeah, I had to. She wipes her face, tries one more time. We're falling apart without you. I look at her, calm, final. That's not my problem anymore. Goodbye, Sabrina. I turn, walk back to my desk, and don't look back. The rest of the day, I'm on autopilot, running code, answering emails, but my head's replaying it. She showed up unannounced, like old times, thinking I'd cave. A year ago, I might have, but Juno's voice echoes in my mind. Stop living for them. My blog's full of it, too. Comments from people who've been where I was, trapped by guilt, breaking free. I'm not that Caleb anymore. I clock out at 5, head home to my apartment. It's quiet, mine, just a few books, a plant Juno gave me, the city lights outside. I make coffee, sit on the couch, and let the moment settle. Sabrina's gone. They're gone. Later I open my laptop, start writing. It's about this. Her showing up, the ask, saying no. The words come easy, raw. I don't owe them anything. Not my time, not my peace. I've got my own life now. Work, writing, Juno's laugh when we grab drinks. Sabrina's tears don't pull me back, they can't. I finish the draft, save it, and lean back, sipping coffee. The rain stopped outside, the sky clearing. I feel lighter than I have in years. She left without a word, and I'm still here, free, that's all I need. I'm standing by the window in my downtown Seattle apartment, the city sprawling out below me, lights flickering against the night sky. It's been over a year since I left Sabrina and her sisters behind. Over a year since I started rebuilding from the ground up. My name's Caleb Roy, 36, 37 now, I suppose, though I didn't make a fuss about my last birthday. The air's cool tonight, and I'm holding a mug of tea, the steam curling up in lazy swirls. No whiskey anymore. That's old Caleb, the one who drowned his nights in a bottle. This is new Caleb, and I'm finally starting to know him. The apartment's small but mine, books on the shelves, a desk cluttered with notes, a life I've chosen, not one I've been handed, work steady, better than ever. I'm leading my team, running projects that matter, earning nods from the higher-ups. It's not just a job now, it's a piece of me, something I'm good at, something I control. Donovan still swings by my desk, cracking jokes, telling me I'm living the dream. He's not far off. The divorce is long done, the house sold, the money split. Sabrina's a ghost. Texts stopped months ago, and I don't check for them anymore. Myra and Talia are out of my orbit too. I heard through Donovan's ex that they're still scrambling. Legal messes, custody fights, bills piling up. I don't dig for details. That's their world, not mine. Writing's become my anchor. The blog took off, thousands of readers now, people emailing me their stories saying I've helped them see their own traps. That essay about Sabrina's visit, The Ask, went viral, shared across platforms, picked up by a local paper. Leo, the podcast guy, had me back for a second round.
You're a voice, Caleb, he said.
I laughed, awkward, but it stuck with me. Juno's been pushing too. She's got me working on a book, a real one. We meet up at her place or mine, pages spread out, her scribbling notes in the margins. You're getting there, she says, and I believe her. It's about breaking free, saying no, finding yourself when everyone else has taken their piece. It's my story, but it's bigger now. Juno's more than a writing buddy these days. We've been dating a few months. Slow, easy, nothing forced. She's different from Sabrina, doesn't need me to carry her, just wants me around. Last weekend, we walked along the waterfront, her arm looped through mine, talking about nothing and everything. She's free-spirited, sharp, calls me out when I drift into old habits. You're not their mule anymore, she said once, half teasing, half serious. She's right. With her, it's light, coffee dates, late-night talks, her laugh filling the gaps I didn't know were there. I'm not rushing it, but I like where it's going. She sees me, not what I can do for her. My circle's small but real. Donovan's a constant. Dinner at his place sometimes, his daughter drawing me pictures I stick on my fridge. The writing group's steady too. A handful of us meeting weekly, sharing drafts. They're not family, not like Sabrina's clan, but they're mine. People who get me, who don't ask for more than I want to give. I've got boundaries now, lines I didn't know I could draw. A guy at work asked me to cover his shift last month. Old Caleb would have said yes, no questions. New Caleb said, "Sorry, I've got plans," and I did. Writing, a quiet night in. It felt good. That no is power, not guilt. I sip my tea, the warmth spreading through me. The skyline's beautiful tonight, crisp, alive. I think about how far I've come. A year ago, I was at that cabin, reeling from Sabrina's email, calling CPS, walking away. It was the hardest thing I'd ever done, but it saved me. I was drowning in their needs, kids, errands, endless favors, until I wasn't. Now I'm here, standing in my own space, living my own life. My phone buzzes on the table, a text from Myra, first in months. "Caleb, I'm sorry," it says, nothing else. I stare at it, waiting for the old pull, guilt, duty. It doesn't come. I set the phone down, don't reply. She's too late. I'm not their fix anymore. I grab my laptop, settle on the couch, and open a new document. Words flow about this moment, the tea, the city, the me I found. Saying no saved my life. I type, "I thought being reliable was love, but real love doesn't use you up." I pause, read it back. It's true. Sabrina's love was a leash, Myra's and Talia's too. Juno's different, open, free. I keep writing, the page filling fast. This is my story, my ending, not theirs. I finish, save it, and lean back, the mug warm in my hands. The city hums outside, and I smile, small, real. I'm finally me, and that's more than enough.